Welcome to Single Leg Parlay, the NFL Week 3 preview podcast. We're going to go over our favorite games of the week and then give you guys our best bets. Let's chug a beer. Oh, that could not have been timed better, Andy.
That's what I do.
All right, so we've got Sunshine, new and improved Andy, old and unproven Andy, Danny, and myself, Al, here. The whole 5-gang unit together again. Let's talk some Week 3 matchups, eh?
Let's do it.
Okay. Danny, I think you probably got the best game of the week here. What is your top matchup of the week?
Baltimore, Dallas. Baltimore is down 2 games. Dallas 1-1. Both these teams we think should be top of their divisions or near it at the end of the season. If either of these teams win, the other is not 1-2 or 0-3. It's not looking like playoffs for either of those teams. So this is kind of one of those. I don't want to call it a must-win, but if for the Ravens for sure, it kind of feels like a must-win. And they're on the road in Dallas, and Dallas wants to come back after getting hammered. So I really am excited to watch this game.
Yeah, it's a game I have no read on as far as a bet goes, but it's going to be a good one. And yeah, essentially the loser is not going to make the playoffs.
Loser leaves town game, and I love it.
Ooh, in September, baby.
It's important. Baltimore really needs a win. They need a win bad because they're not bad. You can't go to 0-3 in the AFC North, especially.
Yeah. Matt, what is your top matchup of the week?
This is a weird matchup, but I'm intrigued by the conflict of style. On our previous podcast, we talked about Minnesota. Danny said yes, no, maybe, that they are they good? And everyone is kind of on the fence. And today we're going to find out when they invite Houston into town. Young team, super good, shows a lot of promise. And I don't know what to make of any of it. There's a chance Justin Jefferson's out, and that will change my interest in this. But if he's playing, I want to watch it. It sounds fun, right? I want to see if Sam Darnold is actually good against a very competent offense and makes that thing run. They shut down San Francisco pretty well. So what can they do against a high-flying offense like Houston? Don't know, and I want to find out.
Yeah. Good matchup. It'll be, even if Justin Jefferson doesn't play, it'll be interesting to find out if he can just turn anyone into what he turned Kirk Cousins into.
It's true. And I want to see if they can if Munt will continue to have a good game. If you listen to our previous podcast, we talked about Munt. I can't remember his first name.
Johnny Munt.
I gotta imagine having 3 guys guard Jefferson makes it easier for other receivers to get open.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was going to say. Is JJ can't keep doing this, right? Can't keep getting away with this. He can't go week in, week out with these ridiculous numbers.
You can when you're that good. You're that good. He had
all it took was a real quarterback and Sam Darnold to get him there.
Absolutely. He can even make Lego Fireman good quarterback. That's how good Justin Jefferson is.
Oh,
turn Lego Fireman into Lego Batman.
My top matchup this week is actually going to be the Patriots at the Jets. Thursday night football. Total is 37.5. Spoiler alert, we're going under on that one. It's going to be the best brand of Iowa football on a professional level that anyone has seen this week.
We talked about this yesterday on the college football preview. Punts, not points. Punts, not points. That's going to be the theme for today. You can start off punts, not points in Minnesota, Iowa, and really continue. Oh, I guess actually the other way around. Get warmed up with the Jets and Patriots, and then go right into Minnesota, Iowa.
Does Iowa have a bye this week? Because I feel like Ferentz is going to be on the sideline for that game.
He's going to get as much inspiration afterwards. He's going to be like, how should I run my offense? Oh, like dog shit. That's it.
I was trying to see if there's a Sunday matchup of terrible teams that you could really carry it into and do a whole week of punts over points.
Giants, Browns.
Yeah, that might be a good one. I love that. Yeah, any game Deshaun Watson's quarterback's going to have a lot of punts.
And Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Danny Nichols. Danny
Yeah,
Pennies.
Danny Pennies. Sunshine, what is your top matchup this week?
Philadelphia Eagles going to New Orleans to face the Saints.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Neither one is a team that I truly love, but I just think that it's going to be a really exciting. I'm predicting a high-scoring game. I'm not going to dare say bet the over, but I think that just the way the Saints have come out to start this season, they're playing at home in the Superdome now, and the Eagles you can never count out. Well, like the Eagles of these past, the Eagles you can never count out.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if they bounce back against another NFC South opponent after taking that L against Atlanta tonight.
A great Atlanta team, may I add, Matt.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that one feels like it should not be a 1:00 game.
I agree.
You know,
it was like
really
not
matchup.
4:25, but 4:05 or 4:00. Like it kicks off that late window.
Gets you
This will be the Eagles' first Sunday game of the season. They haven't played on a Sunday yet.
Oh, that is
geez.
weird.
What?
Yeah. Friday night, then Monday night.
Andy, what is your best play, or what game is your favorite this week?
I'm really looking forward to San Francisco at the Rams. These are both teams that lost games that they really didn't have any business losing last week. They're both dealing with some injuries, but I think it's going to be interesting to see which one can bounce back here because they're both better than what we saw from them the last time on the field. So which one of them can put it back together?
Yeah.
Which one of the young hotshot coaches can show up? It's really the best storyline of this game.
Yeah,
care a whole lot about Brock Purdy.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very obvious to see that one team had a bad week and the other team might be in for more than one bad week. But you never know. You never know. It's a division game, right?
Can I give one more nominee that I'd like
Absolutely.
to see? I can't believe it hasn't been said. Arizona, Detroit. Styles make fights, right? And this looks like a high scoring style. Both of them, right? I don't think Arizona's defense is particularly good, so I think Detroit will feast. And I really want to see if Kyler Murray has the whole thing moving, as we've seen so far. They've looked good. I don't know if we're establishing a trend or there's been two outliers.
Hutchinson's pretty good at catching Oklahoma quarterbacks, so we'll see if he can hang on to Kyler. I think it's a little more boogie. It's got a little more getaway.
Yeah. The slipperiness has increased exponentially. We've got 2 Monday Night Football games this week too. You guys aware of that?
Yeah,
that's not something we need.
I hate that.
They should just call it like, here's a bonus game for California. Because the second game's not going to kick off until I'm in bed, right?
No,
like
the first one is early. The second one is at the same time as a normal Monday night game.
Can I take here?
Right.
We don't need Monday night any earlier. I know everyone here is like, some people like to go to bed early. Football is at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. We just have to deal with it, right? Like, I don't need 7 o'clock because then it throws everything with my family in a weird rhythm, right? Like,
well, Monday Night Football used to not kick off till 9 on the East Coast, and they've moved it up. I'm like putting the kids to bed and looking up. Oh, the first quarter already started. What's going on? It's like it's not Sunday. What's happening here?
I think the games were getting into like 1 a.m. and people were tuning out, and they were like, "All right, we gotta 1, speed games up a little bit, and 2, move this up just a hair."
They could always try what college has done and just add more commercials to see if that makes people watch more.
Yeah,
people love that. I did, but I don't think we need 2 Monday night games. And the worst part is no one ever does, like, YouTube TV offers the split screen. They don't do it for like Monday night games. And it's very frustrating because then I can't watch both games at the same time. I don't know, like, what's the game plan here? Like, I have to we're splitting.
You're gonna have to go old school picture in picture.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
totally.
Or
I think
the
you
previous
totally just hit
channel
the nail
button?
on the head. I think they should have 2 Monday Night Football games every week, but they should be simultaneous, and you should be able to watch them on one screen. Get like a red zone kind of thing, just a 2-game red zone.
Free
That would be
timeout
more
for both
entertaining
coaches
than
if the
watching
game's
like
going faster.
Patriots
Okay,
Jets. You know,
if Scott Hansen is commentating the game, and I don't have to listen to anything else, I am in. I will take 2 Monday night games all the time, and it's included in my red zone package. Yes, we can do that.
I don't have a problem with this. I would if the second game was at like 10 p.m. Eastern. But I checked 2 websites just to be sure that one wasn't lying to me. The first game's at 7:30 and the second game's at 8:15 Eastern.
Yeah.
So I'll put the kids in bed.
Overlapping a lot. Yeah.
I'll have one on my laptop and one on the TV, and I'll switch them if one is more interesting than the other. I've got no problem with this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll spend the entire second half working on my picks because we're about to do a podcast. So
There's that too.
how shitty is it for Jags fans that one, they like never get a primetime game? If they do, it's the Thursday night game, and then the one time they get a Monday night game, it's like the early slot that no one's going to watch half the game. You know.
To be fair, that game has a closer spread, so you may get a lot of gambling interest. And if Jacksonville can keep the game close, I don't see Washington, Cincinnati being interesting. I don't see either one of these being particularly interesting, unfortunately. I think that's my biggest drawback.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't just have – they should have flex scheduling from week 1. Like, they have these lineups set, like, way far in advance. And I get, like, you need a little bit of time for teams to adjust. But we're talking, like, one day – I don't know, whatever. I don't think it matters. I think
I'd be so pissed
with all
if
the
I was
international travel they're trying to add into the schedule and shit, they might as well just pick the best game of the week and put it in a primetime slot every week.
I'd be so pissed if I planned a Saturday or Sunday morning tailgate and then all of a sudden I have to like try and leave work to make the game on time. This isn't for the people watching on TV, bud. This is for the people paying $400 a ticket to go to the game.
Even worse if you're flying in from out of town, right?
Yeah.
Your plane tickets and your hotel's the wrong day. And
hey, not all of my ideas are great.
Al doesn't care about the common man.
That's true.
Actually, the guy watching on TV is
the common man is the TV watcher.
That's all Al cares about. It's the rich guy going to the game.
Hop in the private jet and you got to reschedule with your
it actually
butler.
Tracks perfectly.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our best bets this week. Full slate of games. Let's start with Matt. Matt, what's your favorite play this week?
Yeah, my favorite play this week is simple. Andy alluded to it earlier. Giants, Browns. Let's take under 38.5. Where are the points coming from? Stringer. They're not coming. They're not coming at all, right? We watched Cleveland does have a pretty good defense. The Giants do appear to have a pretty good defense themselves as long as they're not playing Minnesota. And this ain't Minnesota. This ain't the dynamic offense of Sam Darnold. We got Deshaun Watson rolling into town. This game may be close to 38.5, but there's enough wiggle room where I think the play here is Giants-Browns under 38.5.
What would Deshaun
Are they going to
Watson
bench Deshaun Watson?
I was going to say, what would his touchdown pass prop have to be for you to bet it?
Over a half. And it has to be
but like, yeah. Like what, plus 150, plus 170?
It'd have to be better than a Harry Kane goal.
Yeah.
That would have to be better than that for sure.
Yeah, maybe like a Saka assist territory. We're looking at plus 200.
No, plus 200 is ridiculous. I'd take it all day. Like plus 130, plus 140, I'm probably gonna roll the dice on it. Because he's gonna find touchdowns, right? Like he can't not find touchdowns. You can't have Jameis Winston sitting on your bench and not going to the Dolphins for my entertainment. Because I think that'd be great.
The second they start playing Jameis is the second I start betting on the Browns.
Oh, hell. Overs. We're going to overtime, baby.
I want it bad. Danny, what's your favorite bet this week?
It's a pretty boring one. It's a Thursday night under play, but I'm not doing I am doing the under, but I'm also doing Patriots because they're getting almost a touchdown against the Jets, and I think the Jets will probably shit the bed and lose this game. So 6.5 points. If you just have a lead going into the end, it's guaranteed.
Division game, sort of big dog on a low total. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds right.
I wish it was 7.5, but I didn't want to buy it up because it was too juiced. So
yeah. Oh, my favorite bet this week is Carolina Panthers +7.
Oof.
It's actually, I actually did bet that, but then since they announced that they're benching Bryce Young and starting Andy Dalton, the line's moved down to 5.5.
Which I bet.
And yeah, I decided I'm just going to take it off. So it's not actually my best bet this week, but I do think if ever there is a week for the Panthers to cover, this is about as good a chance as we're going to get. My actual best bet though is the Titans. I'm going to lay 2.5 with them at home against the Packers. I feel like Malik Willis is just trying to tread water until Jordan Love is back, and he got a win last week, so he can go ahead and put an L in the loss column there this week. So
yeah, I'm on the other side of that, man. The Titans are a little harder against the run, but I think Malik Willis is a little better than you're giving him credit for. I think that he didn't throw for a lot of yards, but he had a good average per attempt, good average per completion. I think Malik Willis, he also ran for like 60 or 70 yards or something. I think Malik Willis is going to be okay against Tennessee, and I got 2.5 the other direction, or 3 the other direction.
Yeah,
Danny's going Malik Willis revenge game.
He is. Danny loves a good subtext, Gotta have some like plot to it. Sunshine, what's your favorite bet this week?
Oh man, I hope nobody that listens to this podcast investigates me, because once again, it's Saints +1.5. They're an underdog at home. Get the fuck out of here. I know they're going against the Eagles, and I know the Eagles are a good team, and I said you can never count them out. But the Saints offense has been explosive. They'll be in the Superdome. New Orleans will be rocking. And I'm pretty sure they just survived a fucking hurricane. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did this. I don't know if you did this on purpose, but you typed in for your favorite matchup, the Philadelphia at the Aints, as the joke for the Saints. And then it's just kind of hilarious.
I do think it's
autocorrect, Danny. Autocorrect.
Do you think it's important? There is a 2.5 out there, right, Andy?
Yeah.
So what do we?
Oh shit! There's a 2.5.
Plus.
Oh man.
I like it a lot more.
Plus 2.5 feels good, right? Feels better than 1.5.
Oh, it's so much better. So much.
It's like a whole point.
Yeah.
It is.
It's almost like they changed quarterbacks from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton just to get that line.
Is that the first time in history where the backup comes in and the spread gets better for the team that's replacing the starter quarterback? I can't think of that ever working.
But I'm sure it's a unique situation.
I feel like it had to have happened to the Dolphins sometime in the post-Marino years.
When we replaced Cleo Lemon with Joey Harrington or someone like that. Like, I don't know. I know those two didn't exist, but that's the best example I got.
Andy, good to see you. Did you get a haircut, by the way?
I did.
It looks nice, bud.
Thank you.
What speaking of haircuts, what's your favorite bet this week? Taking a little off the top on this total.
Yeah, this kind of feels like cheating because we all just do this every week. But I'm taking the Thursday night under. Patriots at Jets. These teams aren't going to score a lot. Plus, it's Thursday night under 37.5.
Yeah,
I'm joining that. I think we have a.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like we got to Thelma and Louise this bitch to the ground. Every Thursday we go in on the under. Oh. Yep. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about these matchups this week? It stands out.
I'm gonna tell you guys about a trend that I am betting, and it is as long as the score is 17 points against the Steelers, I'm going to take a team total under that team that's playing the Steelers. The Steelers defense is awesome, and It's going to work over and over. And I'm going to continue to bet it as long as there's 17 points until it doesn't work, as a heads up. So I will be betting the Chargers team total under 17 against that friggin' fierce defense they have in Pittsburgh, because it was easy this week against Denver. And I know this is going to be a more formidable challenge, but feel good about it.
I like it. That's
I
fun.
like the Steelers. I think that if you need a quarterback to get you, I think it's 11 points so far is all they've needed to win. Justin Fields is your guy.
Yeah, he's the man.
He can get you 11 points. So I think our Wong teasers didn't do super great this past week. Is that right?
They were
Is that
better this
right?
past week than they were the first week.
Okay. Oh, that's okay.
I think
Yeah,
I lost
I don't-
4 units instead of 18. But
Okay. Yeah, that's a big difference.
It's a lot of
Yowza.
So
Hey, yikes.
Wong can suck my wang, but I'm still going back in, and I'm going to do them all again.
of course.
Yeah, I
Because
actually
if you
think
don't,
this is a really Go ahead.
that's going to be the week where they go 30-0, and you're going to.
Yeah, I think that might be this week. There's some really sweet spots here.
There were a couple games where it was like the teaser was just there for the taking, and the team was like, "No, I don't want it. I don't fucking want it."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is a week where books cleaned up pretty good. Just so here are the Wong teaser legs that are in range currently, and so there's the Bears +2, the Chargers +2, the Vikings +2.5, the 49ers -7.5,
Okay.
and then the Bengals -2, and then I guess now the
I think it's -8, isn't it?
-8, but Wong
tease
too.
to -2.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I've started writing these without the Wong or without the T's and then with the T's. And then the Saints I think are in that range now too, right?
1.5 was in the range too, but yeah.
2.5 is deliciously in the range.
Yep.
Yeah, so these are all legs. Like all the dogs could win outright, and you're teasing them to get over a touchdown. And then you've got the 49ers coming off a loss, and the Bengals getting right, even though they are 0-2 to get right spot. I really like all of these. This is a good week to experiment if you want to touch some Wongs.
The 2.5s going up have been better, at least for me, the last 2 weeks. I don't know, Andy. 2.5s going up have been better. Coming down, the favorites have just been losing outright. The bigger favorites.
I think historically that's actually the one that's better, is the favorites teased down. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I got screwed over by the Ravens, the Lions this past week. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
The bloodbath.
Yeah. The Ravens, man, they were right there. They were right there. And then they decided, no, we're just going to give up another touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The Ravens,
No, they gave up the game-winning field goal when they should have been the ones kicking it. They had the ball, and Lamar Jackson just couldn't go down the field.
Yeah.
You know that team's going to get hot soon, and they're going to peel off 7 of 9 real quick. But they're weird. They're in a weird spot. This is a big game for them this week.
Big third down here. No, so interesting stat is teams that have gone 0-2 to start the season only make the playoffs 5% of the time, right? And think about some of the big name teams out there that we all predict to be in the playoffs that are 0-2. Ravens, Bengals. I don't know. There's somebody else, I'm sure.
Rams.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, but the Rams are just beat the fuck up. But anyways,
The Dolphins could so easily be 0-2.
well,
It was a Holland punch the ball into the end zone that kept them alive.
Panthers?
but,
if we're doing that, the Broncos, the Giants.
Yeah.
But no, think about it like in this sense, that there were a lot of 0-1 teams that faced off against each other this week, where one of them obviously was going to end up being 0-2. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be the Ravens, but are the Bengals. But they were facing Kansas City, who is a powerhouse. I just, I don't know. I looked over the Ravens schedule. I was like, holy shit, this team might go 0-5.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
got a tough run, right?
They got a tough
So-
run coming up.
Both of those teams you just mentioned have a loss to Kansas City, who I was kind of thinking their offense might start to age a little bit, but it turns out Kelsey looks like he's still pretty fucking good, and Rice is emerging as like a legit threat on the outside, which they haven't had since Tyreek Hill left. I mean, he was pretty good last year, but I think he's going to be one of those wide receivers like closer to the top of the league in yards this year. So yeah, they have two really big wins, and that's just going to get easier for them from here.
I don't know, man. A lot of their game is predicated on the run. They rely so heavily on Pacheco, and I'll be curious with him being out 6 to 8 weeks what that does to the offense. They have Carson Steele, that they like, that big ass white fullback thing that runs, and they have
They still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Samaji P. Ryan, who's been, I feel like he's been around for like 90 years.
He really has.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the backup? Is that the backup to Pacheco?
Pacheco, yeah, it's Carson Steele and Samaji P. Ryan.
All right. So if we were playing fantasy, who do we go out and grab?
Don't worry about that. You keep in your lane. I lost Pacheco. You bastards. Stay away.
Spend your budget, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to have to do something.
Here,
But no,
let's oh, yeah.
No, Pacheco is a big part of their offense. So I'll be curious to see. You know what's weird? I haven't seen Kelsey really hasn't gone off yet, and I don't know if it's like an age thing or like they're kind of like saving him or they don't need him or.
I think the
curious
Chiefs
because
gonna
of-
have some young weapons at wide receiver. That means they can spread the ball out a little bit. I think he's still hit the security blanket, but I don't think he needs his blanket very much. You got Rashee Rice, and you've got who's the guy they just drafted?
Yeah, Worthy.
Worthy,
yeah,
who's
Worthy.
super fast.
Yeah.
They've been throwing to Gray a lot more than they've been throwing to Kelsey. It's weird.
So this last week, Kelsey did have a 40-yard reception that was called back for holding, and I think it was holding. And he did, I think he did drop one like in the end zone, but he also apparently has picked up acting, and that'll really fuck you up. You thought Taylor Swift was going to fuck this guy's game up? Hell no. In fact, now he's trying to be famous in another route.
Doing improv. I'm like, yeah, no.
I mean, they're still using him to get first downs and stuff. He just doesn't. I mean, he has only 4 catches.
Everyone knows that offense
that's
runs
turn around.
through him, so they can scheme their defense to take him away to an extent. And when you have other weapons, that opens it up. So I think once those receivers show up more on the stat line, and teams have to respect that, then that opens things up for Kelsey. So it might just be a few weeks. Go ahead.
Can I ask just it's another tight end question, but and this has to do with kind of part of my fantasy, but what the fuck happened to Baltimore Ravens? Like that Likely guy, he went off, and they didn't even go to him this last game, barely.
Like Mark Andrews has fallen off a cliff.
Well, I mean, that was what it was like the first game, and then this game, like Andrews was back, but like this other guy, and it just seemed that like in my mind, this sounds silly, but it's almost like Andrews went, to he went to John Harbaugh and was like, "Hey, why the fuck didn't you throw to me?" And he's like, "All right, we'll throw more to you," and then they throw more to him and they lose.
So they've been using a lot of Zay Flowers in the first 2 games, even like short passes. Like he is a PPR monster. I can't believe we're doing this, but he gets a lot more receptions than he does get usefulness. And they've been leaning on him. I know he had 7 last game. I think he had like 9 or 10 in the game against Kansas City. So I don't know if that's become like the kind of the cheat code or the comfort that Lamar looks for. Andrews got 4 for 51, but yeah, likely kind of fell off.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I want to tie a bow on this by playing a little imaginary Russian roulette. Okay, gun to your head. Does the loser of the Baltimore-Dallas game make the playoffs? Yes or no? Sunshine.
Yes.
Ooh, that's fun. Matt.
Okay. What's the spread right now? If it's Baltimore, yeah, I do think the loser makes it. Either one of them.
Spread's 1, I think.
Yeah, looks like it.
The Ravens are given the 1.
Danny, gun to your head. Does the loser of Baltimore Dallas make the playoffs?
Yeah, both those teams are going to figure it out by the end of the year. What's it going to take for them to get in 10 wins? They got to go 10-7. So can both those teams go 10-4 the rest of the way? Yeah, really. 10-4, 9-3 for the Cowboys if they lose. I believe that.
I think the division. Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to win the division, but Andy, gun to your head. What do you say?
Not only do I say no, I say it's more likely that neither of them get in than that the loser gets in.
Okay. I like that you raised the bar there. You went and put another round in the chamber.
Why not? There's no stakes on this.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna come to your house and murder you at the end of the year.
Yeah, gun to your head,
Andy. Yeah, I think maybe not as spicy as Andy, but yeah, I'm gonna say the loser of this game does not make the playoffs. I think it probably depends on who that loser is, right? Like if Baltimore's 0-3, they're less likely to make the playoffs than 1-2 Dallas, maybe, given that division. I also think the wild card spots are not going to be easy. You know, it's real tough sledding.
Look, I don't want to say an 0-3 Baltimore would have like a clearer path, but I don't think Pittsburgh is that good. And I'm not buying Cincinnati. I don't know who will win the AFC North. Potentially, I don't think the Dolphins are going to do anything. I don't think the Jets are going to do anything. The AFC South is going to go through Houston from everything I've seen. And the AFC West is, unless the Chargers are for real, and we've discussed that they're not for real, I don't know. I could see them getting in either way.
It feels like a good split, that it's 3 say yes and 2 say no. 60% chance that the loser gets in is essentially what we're saying. Okay. That's it. Thanks, boys. Great pod. Go to SingleLegParlay.com, rate, review, subscribe. We'll send a newsletter straight to your inbox with all of our picks, because we've got a lot more than the 5 we gave out here. So we're hitting almost 80% through 2 weeks. So it's a very worthwhile effort to go click your mouse 3 times, and then it's like going to an ATM. You have to punch 4 buttons to get money out of an ATM. You only have to click your mouse like 3 times to get money sent to your inbox. Right? That's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Sweet. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Cheers.
I just said bye at the end of a podcast.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye, babe.
You should have said I love you. Bye.
I know.